broken it already. It's his fault.
No, he fucking broke it.
He's broke it already. Yes, it's kind of broken. No, it isn't. Welcome back to the channel. That's all we're going with this one. We think it's the alternator. I also need to start taking my vlog camera out with me whenever I take this car out, because actually I used it for a day, took it home, went and put fuel in it. Well, drove from my house to a fuel station literally 5 minutes up the road, turned it off, put fuel in it, went to put it back on, it was dead. So it makes for great content. So I need to start taking my camera whenever I take this S13 out. But we've got no power. Bevy came and jump started me. I managed to just get it back to the shop, and it actually totally died on me when I got it back to the shop. I jumped it that night with jump leads to see if it would get power, and it would. So we think it's the alternator. I've already tested it, and I believe I'm not getting as much power out of it as I should. But I'm going to put the multimeter on the battery once we get it running again, just to show you what we're getting, what I believe we should be getting. So this man is going to jump us, and then we're going to bring it in. And what, the one that's you're getting rid of? So we're going to pull it in and see if the alternator is the issue, and if so, swap it over. Operation bring back to life. I'll do it. We'll see if we get it, because everyone can see so much in here. Ah! We have some life again. So we're going to pull it into the workshop. I'll throw a multimeter on the battery, and we'll see what voltage we're getting, and we'll go from there. So it's a little loud, but you're going to have to roll with me. So we should be getting 14 volts on the battery, and we're only getting, with the car running, 11.10 volts, which isn't enough. That's with no load on, that's with no lights or anything on. So let's stick some lights on and see if it makes any difference at all. That's dims and lights. Actually makes it worse, 10.87. So pretty confident that we have got a problem with charging. So this is our culprit. When he stops actually doing proper work, I'm going to make him do side work, which is whip this out and replace it for this, which this is a used one. This come off of Nick. I'll put his Instagram down here, from NH Automotive, has kindly sent me his, because his one is not in use at the moment, because he's got 180SX that he has stripped and he's totally rebuilding, so his engine's out of the car at the moment. So I asked him if he'd be ever so kind, can I borrow your alternator just to put it in this car, to make sure this is it, while I send mine off to get refurbed. And in return, once I've got mine reconditioned and working, I'm going to get his reconditioned just to make sure his is sweet. So operation alternator out, Nick's one in. Nick, I owe you a massive favour for this, and let's see if that solves it. I had no interest, so I'm making Bevy take it out.
That's because you a bitch.
Are you having fun?
Loads of fun, mate. Just wait till you get my Homer rates through.
For English people, Homer is private. I had to leave to go and collect the sausage dogs, and I got the boys McDonald's. And in that time, Bevy's got them out. This is the old one, although it looks newer than the one we're putting in. We're nearly done. We're nearly ready to start it. Bevy's putting the last bolt in. Jordan done a DIY paint job, and I must say they look rather good. Who remembers what these are called? Put it in the comments. We have one working car. We can take this off. Kyle is going to test from the alternator to see if we have any better power outcomes. But this is good news because it started, which is one good thing to start with. We have a running alternator. That's giving us 15 volts. So that looks a little bit positive. So we've got a bit of progress. Alternator is in. We've got power back in the car. 15 volts coming out of the alternator. Just tested it back at the battery. 13.5 volts coming back to the battery. So that is looking like a good bit of news. I've still got a couple of gremlins wiring wise that I don't know why. I've got hazards, but the indicators ain't working. Clocks have randomly stopped working, but they always used to work. So there's a few things we need to still figure out. It's another day. I can't remember when we done the alternator. We done the alternator Wednesday or Thursday last week. Today's Wednesday. So we've got about a week difference of clips going through this video. Good, so we got some good news. We got the alternator on. I took the car for a test drive, and probably the clip before this one, I was saying how I think there may have been some wiring issues because we had no working clocks, we had no working indicators. But after taking the car for a drive, things started coming back to life. I've not been back to Offset and to the S13 since we've done the alternator. I'm currently on my way to the airport to pick up my brother. Today we are doing a full service on it, so draining the oil, replacing the oil, the filter. We're going to pull the rad out and flush it through because it's probably going to be grime sitting at the bottom of it. New coolant, new fuel filter, and then the car is in a much better condition in terms of it can be driven, it can go on boost properly, and we can have some fun with it. But gonna go and grab him from the airport, get to Offset, get it on the ramp, start with the service, see if the car starts first time since we've been there, and then we may even have some driving clips at the end of this. It's service time, and the first question is, will it start? So I'm either outing myself here and it's not going to start and I'm going to look like an idiot, or it'll start and it's no bother. But it'll help if I put that key in first so we at least get some power. Are we ready? Oh, she's starting. Everything's off again. We've got a puncher. I found... Bear with me. We've gone over a nail and it's not even gone anywhere yet. So I'm going to take that to get puncher repaired. Ben's about to lift it up and start pulling oil off. Today is service day, later will be drive time. Out your utensils for the day. Some fresh oil, fuel filter, new oil filter, NGK plugs, and we also had a bit of a water issue inside. So this actually come from Japan, cost me including import like 60 quid. New sunroof seal, because, oh, you might not be able to see it out, sunroof seal along here is non-existent. I only went to the shop to get a wheel, and he's already drained the oil, done the filter, doing the fuel filter, so I haven't got much left to do. But I've got to wait like 3 hours for the wheel to be plugged, so I'm going to take the plugs out. Uno plug, and we'll get the new one. I don't know if this is going to pick up on here. Old. Bit of a difference. He's back. He's fixing his wiring that he broke. Because he took my bumper off and ripped the wires off with it. Didn't you?
Or am I fixing Ben's wiring?
Oh, that's out of order. He's come up here to help me and you mug him off. Let's have a little look underneath. It's, considering this car has sat for a good while, it's actually still in very good condition. A little bit of rust, but what do you expect? It's last got used in 2017 for a weekend, and prior to that it was 2 years before that. We're gonna floppy disk all this, get some underseal to protect it, but it's still in excellent condition. Do we like it?
Is Steve going to floppy disk it all, or is Bevy going to floppy disk it all?
Good
That's
idea.
the question.
We all know who's going to do that.
Steve's got clean man hands.
This man, yes. Ben's struggling with Jubilee clips to pull the radiator out. The service is done. The plugs are in. We're missing a wheel, and he's going to do a burnout. I gave him one job. One job. And this is what I've got. Oh, to the rescue, are ya? I mean, it's a nice colour of coolant, Ben.
That's my
Well, we wanted to drain the radiator, but Ben obviously wasn't prepared. So he's drained the radiator onto our floor. So now we have clean up duty, Kyle. And after he's made a mess, now we're taking... Oh, as simple as that. And we're going to go and flush that out outside and see the delightful colour that comes out of it. I'll do, Ben. One radiator. We are basically done. Plugs are in, rad's back in, filter's on, fuel filter is done, hoses are connected up with new Jubilee clips, some plugs in. Got to put the coil packs in, fill up the oil and the coolant, run it to temperature, and then the car can be taken home and used. No coolant filling time. It's much better than the way that it drained. Draining it and oh, here we go. Should we show them the overflow bottle? Look at the overflow bottle. That is a Lucasade bottle.
Retro Lucasade as well.
One tyre back from a quick puncture repair. We've got some new tyres coming. These are a forged 3-piece rotiform LVS. The faces at one point in their time were brushed, but the lacquer's lifted on them and they've white wormed, and the lips need a lot of TLC, but that's going to be another video of how we bring them back to life. We're back on, we're bleeding through the coolant. Everything seems to be now doing everything it should. Clocks are even registering the way they should now. So we've got RPM working, fuel gauge has always been a bit temperamental, so let's ignore that one. Water temperature is working. We need to replace the oil pressure sensor on the sandwich plate by the filter due to that being a little bit buggered. But apart from that, the old girl is near enough ready to run fully and get out and enjoy it. Sunroof seal is done and on, and it was an absolute pig. It actually comes a bit too big, so there's too much excess. So I've taken a gamble and I've cut it down here. Once I get the sunroof back in the car, I'm gonna plastic weld it together as such and silicone it.
Yeah, vlog, mate, what I see this. We have a wild bubbles.
Oh, 2 vlogs in a row. 2 vlogs in a row.
Hey guys.
Oh, the beard.
The
Service done.
brakes might have hold it.
Well, we'll find out. Just don't go into my car.
Where's the metal plate yet?
Service is done. We're up to temperature. She's back looking good. She's definitely drivable. I get to take it out and enjoy it. We're on private land. And for old time's sake, Ben gets to do some ASBO stuff. God, it looks good.